Kronecker delta and its properties. If xi is a set of n independent variables, then del xi by del xj equal to 1 when I is equal to j and 0 when I is not equal to j. This is denoted by delta ij, which is called Kronecker delta. That is, delta ij equal to del xi divided by del xj equal to 1 when I equal to j and 0 when I not equal to j. Thus, we have delta 1 equal to delta 2 equal to delta 3 equal to up to delta n is equal to 1 because I is equal to j. Again, delta 2 equal to delta 5 delta 7 up to delta 6 or any values where I is not equal to j, those values are equal to 0. Properties of Kronecker delta. The first property is delta II is equal to n. In delta I is a dummy suffix and takes values from 1 to n. Therefore, delta II equal to delta 11 plus delta 22 plus delta 33 plus up to delta nn, which is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus dot up to plus 1 equal to n, because all the values will be equal to 1 and number of terms is n, so which is equal to n. So, delta II is equal to n. Number 2 property is given by delta ij into aj equal to a upper suffix I. We have delta ij equal to del x by del xj equal to 1 when I equal to j and 0 when I is not equal to j. So, here delta ij into aj, this can be written as delta I1 into a1 plus delta I2 a2 plus delta I3 a3 plus dot. At some point the value of j will be equal to I. So, you will get the term delta II into ai plus dot. The last term will be given by delta in into an. So, the value of the first term where delta I1 into a1, the value of delta I1 will be equal to 0 because here I is not equal to j, plus in the second term also the value of delta I2 will be equal to 0. In the third term also delta I3 will be equal to 0, and in the ith term, that is delta II, this value will be equal to 1 into ai plus dot. Again, in the same way delta in will be equal to 0 into an. So, from here you will get only the term ai. This is the second property. Alternative proof is given by delta ij into aj. This can be written as delta I1 a1 plus delta I2 a2 plus delta I3 a3 plus dot delta in an. Now, when I is equal to 1, then we will get the expression for the first term, that is delta I1 into a1. This can be written as delta 11 into a1 plus delta 21 into a1 plus delta 31 into a1 plus dot delta n1 into a1 equal to a1, because all the other terms except the first term will be 0. Similarly, we will get the value of the second term as delta I2 into a2 is equal to delta 12 into a2 plus delta 22 into a2 plus delta 32 into a2 plus dot delta n2 into a2. This value will be equal to a2 because we will get only the second term and all other remaining terms will be 0. In the same way, we will get the expression for the third term, and here also we will get only the third term and all other terms will be 0, and from here you will get A3. Similarly, whenever the value of I will be equal to n, we will get the last equation, that is delta 1n into an plus delta 2n into an plus delta 3n into an plus dot dot dot. The last term is given by delta nn into an, which is equal to an, because all other terms except the last term will be 0. From the last term you will get only an, because the value of delta nn will be 1. Therefore, putting all these values in the first equation, we will get the value of delta ij into aj. The value of the first term is given by a1, the value of the second term is given by a2, plus the value of the third term is given by a3 plus dot 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 dot, and the value of the last term is given by an, and which can be written as ai, where I goes from 1 to n. Number third property is given by delta ij into delta jk is equal to delta ik. We have delta ij is equal to del xi by del xj is equal to 1 when I equal to j and 0 when I is not equal to j. So, delta ij into delta jk, this can be written as delta I1 into delta 1k plus delta I2 into delta 2k plus delta I3 into delta 3k, and whenever the value of j is equal to I, then you will get the ith term, that is given by delta II into delta Ik plus dot dot dot. The last term is given by delta In into delta Nk, and the value of the first term will be 0 as delta I1 is equal to 0. Again, the value of the second term is also 0 because delta I2 is 0. Delta I3 is also equal to 0 because upper suffix and lower suffix are different, and you will get 1 in the ith term, that is given by delta II. So, the value of delta II is equal to 1. The value of the last term is also 0, that is delta In is equal to 0. So, except the ith term, that is delta II, all other terms will be 0, and from here we will get only delta Ik. So, delta Ij into delta Jk is equal to delta Ik. The fourth property is given by delta Ij into delta Ji is equal to n. So, we have from the above property delta Ij into delta Jk is equal to delta Ik. So, here we are just replacing j by I. Then from the left hand side we will get delta II into delta II. So, this is equal to delta II using the above property, and the value of delta II is nothing but is equal to n. So, this is the fourth property, delta Ij into delta Ji is equal to n. The fifth property is given as if x1, x2, x3 up to xn are independent and single valued continuous function of the variables x prime 1, x prime 2, x prime 3 dot 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 x prime n, and each xi possesses partial derivatives of first order with regard to these variables, then by chain rule we have del xi by del x prime j into del x prime j divided by del xk is equal to del xi by del xk, and it is written in terms of Kronecker delta as delta Ik. Again, del x prime I divided by del xj into del xj divided by del x prime k is equal to del x prime I divided by del x prime k, and it is also written in terms of Kronecker delta as delta Ik.